I recently met up with a friend that I hadn't seen in a decade. And of course, we did the usual catching each other up on our lives. And halfway through talking about the graduations, the jobs, the moving, the places visited, he told me, "Teenage you would never be caught doing any of these things you're doing now." And he's right. While certain parts of my identity have remained with me all throughout my life, my love for solitude, for immersing myself in fictional worlds, some parts of myself, however, the more adventurous, stronger, curious, braver parts of me, I only discovered recently. And yet they feel like such a core part of my identity, like discovering a birthmark on the back of your neck you never knew you had. Surprised, but yet simultaneously not. Like buying a pair of shoes that were too big for you as a kid, but that you grew into eventually. Visiting Tahoe was like discovering a birthmark I never knew I had. I just felt right at home. I grew up for most of my life thinking I was more of a beach kind of girl, but I suppose that's because that was all I'd ever known. Past me probably would have gotten annoyed that I fell multiple times, or she would have just opted to skip all of the hikes that we were doing daily because I'd underestimate my abilities. And while I can't necessarily fault younger me for being like that, I'm so thankful that I've evolved into the person I am today. What a privilege it is to experience things that allow you to change and grow for the better, to discover and fall in love with yourself while doing so. While previously I might not have thought anything special about mountains, now I know the solitude it brings me is unlike anything I've ever experienced. And of course, it's even better when accompanied by a large body of water that I could sit by all day long and just be. And maybe, just maybe, if I came here when I was a teenager, perhaps it wouldn't have this much of an impact on me. Maybe just like how I had to grow into my shoes, I needed to grow into myself to appreciate where I am now in life. And now this place will have such a special place in my heart, not simply because I had one of the best tacos in my life on the beach, or because my best friends and I could relax our muscles every evening in a hot tub and stay up all night talking, or because I won $10 from my first ever scratch card. I mean, of course, these things did make this trip a lot more memorable, but none of these things could have happened, and I know I'd still feel content. And that, to me, I think is what makes me absolutely certain that I've grown and that I've changed over the last decade, and for that, I'm grateful.